Hey gang, welcome back to the 30 Days to Real Estate video series. My name's Joe Bell. I'm a real estate investor and also a real estate professional. Been in the game around 14 years. And with our investments, we've been in about 5 years, and typically we have about 1.5 to 2 million involved in investments in any number of projects. So what you're looking at is our real estate investment map. And this is available for download. It costs $9 to download. You get all of the strategies, the tips, tricks, everything that goes with it in that regard, contracts, everything. So all that we are covering here is basically my brain, and I transferred over to this map specifically so that we could share it with folks and give them the exact steps on how to go into real estate acquisition within 30 days. So I left off talking about making offers, and I had skipped this control versus own segment. There's a really big movement in the industry. Oh, and just click on the link to get the map and go pay the $9. Just FYI, sorry. So there's a really big move in the industry where we're shifting from owning to controlling. So what does that mean? We started seeing it, probably like 12 or 15 years ago was when I first saw this starting to take place. So when you own a piece of property, you have to go and you have to purchase the property. You have to spend the down payment or the cash to completely purchase the property. And what we're starting to see is a different mindset, right? So Airbnb, Uber, Turo, Netflix, all these advancements in technology are giving folks an opportunity to be unhinged in life, right? You're seeing vagabonds, you're seeing these folks that are working from remote locations, which is super cool, right? I'm not hating on it by any means, but they would prefer not to be attached. So you have this rental mentality out there in the industry anymore. Nobody wants to own anything, right? They want to pursue their wanderlust and go see the world, go experience the world, and spend their money more on experiences than assets, right? So that's what we're seeing. So when we start talking about the control versus own, I first saw the control piece of the equation come in the form of a lease with an option to purchase, right? So if you recall from our earlier video, you're writing a lease and you're including an option payment to purchase the property down the line for some agreed amount from that day. So it looks like, hey, we're going to lease the property for $1,500. We're going to take a $1,500 non-refundable down payment. That's your option payment. And we're going to purchase this for $250 in 3 years, right? That's made between yourself and the seller, right? So you're controlling the property. Now you have control, and in that contract, you specifically set it up so that you can either transfer the contract, go sell it off to somebody else in a wholesale deal, or B, you have the ability to sublet it, right? And so what you do is you say, well, I'm under contract $1,500, but I can rent this thing for $1,750. I'm paying a $1,500 option payment, and I think I could generate a $5,000 upfront option payment. I'm in contract to sell it for, I think I gave $250, but realistically in 3 years, I'm guessing this is going to be, $285, $300. So I'm going to push to set up those terms in my agreement and then let it play out, right? Because if you got an extra $250 per month, that's $3,000 per year. You've got $3,500 profit off of the option payment, and then you are potentially lining yourself up for $35,000 to $50,000 in profits, less expenses to sell it, and you're probably looking at a $25,000 gain. So 25, 3,000, 3,500, right? I mean, that's 30,000 bucks. It's an extra 10,000 year over year. You go and you find 10 of these and bada bing, right? It's a pretty good scenario. So that's the control versus own mentality. And I'm starting to see it take place now in a different line of thinking, which is rather than controlling through a lease option, now what you're seeing is you're seeing folks that are just coming into control to sublet, right? Where the Airbnb, the VRBO method comes into play, because realistically, on average, this is just a number I've heard, on average, you can typically generate about a 3-to-1 on a Airbnb type rental than on your standard rental. Let me give you a real life example. We have one home. We can rent it out in the $2,400 to $2,600 per month range, furnished. In the month of June, right, that's probably over the winter, late fall, over the winter. In late June this year, we generated just above $7,000 in 1 month going Airbnb. So now just think about that real quick. You find a property, the owner is willing to allow you to sublet it, and you go Airbnb it for a 3-to-1 turn. Okay, you're making 2 times the agreed to monthly. I don't know, seems like a pretty good business opportunity, right? So for the rest of the world, while they're running after wanderlust and have more of a rental mentality, for us investors out there, I see this being a really cool payoff, where if you go get the property because you have access to the resources, you go and you find the best properties for the right scenario that you're looking for, whether that's long-term, short-term, Airbnb, VRBO, whatever direction you want to go, you're going to have a big market of renters. So I think it's a really good play. I think location plays a really big deal. So, you know, downtown, close to airports, other really cool niche areas, like that's where you're highlighting the properties for acquisition, whether it's control or whether it's ownership. In this example, I'm saying owning because you're going to have a big pool of renters. I hope that's coming through clear, right? For me, I look at it and it's a major opportunity for somebody with minimal funds, right? This statement right here. Here's your $9 payoff for downloading the map. For folks with short funds coming into their real estate investment career, go find somebody that's willing to sublet their house, maybe agree to a term longer than a year, so that you can spend a little bit of change, fix it up, make it nice, and then go smash the heck out of that rental. Go let that baby perform for you, right? Here's an example. You find something, $1,000 per month, okay? Let's say you have $3,000 that you can spend on real estate investing. You go find a rental for $1,000. You use $1,000 to fix it up, to make it cutesy and everything along those lines. I don't know that you can furnish for $1,000. Maybe I should use, heck, let's put $2,000 into it, because you also have $1,000 in security deposit, right? So $1,000 to rent, $1,000 for security deposit. So that first $1,000 is going to be due. And then you have up to $2,000 to go in, fix up. Okay, you with me? So go and spend some money, fix it up. Now you have an asset that you can go and charge up to $3,000, right? Given the 3-to-1 turn, right? But say it's only $2,500, right? So now your gap is $1,500 in any given month. Well, let that ride 3 months. Now you have $4,500. Go find another, right? Control versus own. Really cool opportunity. You got to know what you're doing. Do a little bit of research on what it takes to be an Airbnb host and dive into that short-term rental side of the world. I'm sure there's plenty of information on it. But just a thought, if you have a small amount of funds, or maybe you just don't want to spend a large amount of funds on purchasing a property, there's one quick, easy, approachable method for getting into the game. So again, I hope that came through clear. If you have questions, let me know. This whole map available for your download. If you're looking to jump into the real estate investment, we talked about the acquire, fix, flip, acquire, fix, hold as our primary strategy in approaching this, because $30,000 to $40,000 in 6 to 8 months is a pretty unique opportunity for not doing a ton of work. I mean, there's work, but ultimately you don't have to swing a hammer. You don't have to go get dirty unless you enjoy that kind of stuff, right? And that's super cool. You got to find the resources, find the property, have a vision, purchase the stuff, find the contractor. Then manage the heck out of that contractor. And that's it. That's as easy as it is, right? That's well worth the $9 for this video series and map. Okay, so I'm going to jump into a couple other concepts in the next video, but for now I'm going to sign off. I really appreciate you being here, spending the time, spending your attention here when you have all these other bells and whistles that are going off in your world. So thank you, and look forward to seeing you on the next video. So hasta luego.